All right, I'm back, everybody. This is the final part of this. I guess we're gonna call this talks about society and the economy. Society and economic talks. Not that's all gonna have specific names, but this will be the last one in regards to things that concern the economy. Okay, we're talking about cars right now. So, I had another analysis prepared. Automotive market analysis, price growth, and I've used the same dates from 2000s to 2026. Okay, the automotive the automotive market has experienced significant price and increases since the 2000s. Though the growth pattern differs from housing, between December 2020 and December 2021 alone, new car prices rose almost 14%, marking the only double-digit percentage gain in recent memory. Looking at the long-term picture, however, cars have experienced an average inflation rate of 2.09% per year. All the way back from 1947, this growth has been going all the way to today, 2026. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics data, prices for new cars are 41.55, 412.55% higher in 2026 versus 1947. A car that cost 15,000 in 1946 or 1947 will cost approximately today $76,802.59. In 2026, oh, I already said that. In 2026, okay? From 2000 to 2020, the cost of car ownership rose roughly in line with inflation. According to Navy Federal Credit Union's data, however, the pandemic years saw unprecedented spikes that dramatically altered this relationship. Despite recent price increases, one analysis suggests that cars increased 25% in price while wages increased 127% since 2000, making cars technically more attainable than before when considering wage growth. Here comes the kicker: the true cost of car ownership. The purchase price is just one component of ownership costs. A comprehensive car ownership index tracks new and used cars, repairs and maintenance, insurance, tires, accessories, gasoline, parking, and registration and licensing fees. The average U.S. household consciously spends roughly $12,000 a year on their vehicles. You're looking at these numbers right now. Remember all the numbers we touched on in the previous videos and how much all that shit costs. Additionally, traffic crashes cost the equivalent of $1,035 for every person in the US, or more than $4,000 per person per year if counting quality of life costs like physical pain, disability, and emotional impacts. These invisible costs are layered on top of direct expenses, making the true financial burden of car ownership substantially higher than the sticker price suggests. The shift in vehicle types and features. This is another important thing. Part of what's driving price increases is the shift that consumers are purchasing. While budget options are getting harder to find, new car purchases are buying something that is bigger, that is nicer, and that's more refined, probably has more features in it. The feature creep has gradually pushed the baseline price upward even as entry level options have diminished. So, less and less regular entry level cars that entry level human being who's just getting into the housing market and just getting into the labor market can afford. All those cars are being smudged out of the market because they're filling the market up and inflating it with all these fancy new stuff. Modern vehicles offer significantly more safety features and technology than their predecessors. For example, a new 2022 car priced at $13,000 would include features like a front and side airbags, child restraints, air conditioning, a rear window defroster, and an auxiliary audio input jack. Amenities that would have been considered luxuries a generation ago. Shit that nobody needs. Nobody needs. The only people who go looking for cars that have that shit are people who can comfortably afford to go buy a fucking car. rich people. The relationship between car prices and wages has fluctuated significantly over time. While median wages have generally increased faster than inflation since 2000, a rate of inflation overtook the growth of wages in April 2021. High rates of inflation mean that consumers have seen a decrease in purchasing power. The average American's weekly pay has risen 31% over the past 6 years, from 2020 to 2026, which is faster than the prices across that period. However, inflation wiped out most of these income gains, and the cost of things Americans often want or need must continue to rise, including vehicles. While inflation has slowed overall, costs of essentials like groceries, utilities, housing continue to rise. For those forced to borrow to cover their bills, it's becoming a struggle. Delinquency rates have climbed to their highest in almost a decade. What that means is people not paying for shit on their cars, just like people do with apartments. It's a lot of people that are a whole movement I've saw online of people not paying their rent, not paying for things that they're supposed to pay because they can't. They can't do it without shitting on their own income and the money that they have in pocket right now because they don't have no assets. Okay? So even though inflation has slowed, all of the dramatic ass increases, they're negligible. Just like that little bit of percentage drop when we were talking about the housing markets and how the ratio from 5.6 in 2020 or 2024 went down to 5.0 in the current housing market. The ratio for that dictates the affordability of housing. It doesn't fucking matter because the disparity is a 200% gap. It's a 200% gap between median income and the housing and the prices of houses. So it doesn't fucking matter that you dropped 6%, 0.6% off of it. Fuck what the fuck? It's still 5.0, which is 3.0 over where it's supposed to be considered affordable, which is a 2.6 ratio. Okay? For those forced to borrow, this broader economic context affects cars' affordability even when the wages nominally keep pace with the inflation. Financial strain on different generations. I'm always including the other generations so I can show and put it into perspective that I'm not just here to talk at y'all or down on y'all older generations. I'm trying to bring something into your perspective so that you can stop trying to put some kind of blame game or some kind of judgmental eyes on the younger generations as to why they can't do shit. Because we suffering from the same shit that you suffering from, with less power to resist, less tools to recover, less money to fall back on. That's why, okay? The cost of car ownership represents different burdens across generations. Since the 1973, the national median income has grown far faster than inflation. The median income in 1973 was $4,141 compared to $46,190 today. That is a 1,015% increase. However, this growth hasn't been evenly distributed across all demographics or age groups. Baby boomers hoarding shit, sitting on their rich house while having no pocket change. Talking to you. Unlike most other expenses adjusted for inflation, gas prices have actually decreased by 9% since 1973. While this provides some relief to car owners, it doesn't offset the dramatic increases in vehicle purchase prices, insurance costs, and maintenance expenses. Car prices versus minimum wage and general wage growth. Okay, the federal minimum wage chart is the same. From 2000 all the way to 2026 is only a $2% increase and a couple cents. Right, back in 2000, the minimum federal wage was $5.15. Today, it's $7.25. Meanwhile, the median household income kept going up all the way up to $85,300. And this takes into You're supposed to see that chart and take into consideration the cost of all that other shit with the cars, right? So the insurance, the maintenance, and all that stuff. You adding that, you tallying that onto this. Let's also throw in school. You gotta pay for school, don't you? So first of all, hold on. You go to school, you finish school, you get into debt. So you don't even have no money, actually. You don't have money. You're in debt. So whatever money you get is going into the debt. And let's just say, for this specific example, we're not the most fortunate niggas around. We're some average everyday people. So we got a pretty fat chunk of debt right now. Probably at least 20,000. Okay? It's probably at least $20,000 in debt right now. Now, go look at the housing market. While you are in tippy toe trying to get a job because everybody is saying you too qualified or underqualified or entry levels positions asking for 3 to 5 years of experience, AI taking the jobs, you in this mode of flux between getting the jobs. You don't have a job for 5 months, 9 months, a fucking year, maybe multiple years. You can't get a fucking job nowhere. You still in debt. You still gotta pay for food. If an emergency comes up, who gonna pay for that? Motherfuckers. And then your parents is also, or other people is also, or you know that you need the ability to get around. So now you need to face these car markets on top of all that other shit. That's all financial and economical stuff, economical problems that you have to face on top of social problems that you're being afflicted by, that you are feeling impacted by, all that shit we talked about in the dating world. Everything that you are looking at right now, as bad as it is projected to get worse. What part of this situation am I supposed to be hopeful for the future and not supposed to perk up and start putting my foot to the pedal to the metal and trying to get some of what? Get some of what? What am I getting? Excuse me. I'm looking right now. I don't see what I'm getting. I don't see nothing to get. There's nothing to get. I'm barely. I can't even. I can't even barely. I can't afford to be alive. Let alone become some super productive, contributing member to society and contribute to the GDP and do all that type of shit. I'm not nowhere near doing none of that. It's like this big ass gate that's right here that's stopping me. Past the gate is more obstacles down there. I still gotta do shit once I get money. I still gotta do more than pay for my own existence to be considered a productive member of society. I gotta do way more than just pay for my own shit. But I can't even get past that part. The gate is very strong. The people who are on the other side talking about fuck you, find your way through the gate. They already cleared some obstacles. They on the far end. After you clear all the obstacles, you gotta climb a ladder to ascend to another level. These niggas pull the ladder up behind them, talking about figure it out. Get through the gate, figure it out. I know it's no ladder right there, but shit, I had to do it too. I had to go through that too. No, you didn't. The ladder was there for you. And if it wasn't there for you, then you down here with me, facing the same problems. Maybe you ain't even touched the ladder. You closer to my generation. The ladder was pulled up for your ass. The boomers pulled it up for you too. You barely caught that bitch at the end before it was gone. Or you at the end of this obstacle course looking up at the ladder that's pulled up. I'm still far behind you and at a way more disadvantage than you, regardless as if you got the ladder or not. I'm back behind the obstacle course that I have not yet completed, stuck at the gate, nigga. I'm not even inside. I ain't even a contender yet. I ain't even touched the course. I'm stuck at the gates. And you trying to cast something onto me and make me feel like I'm inadequate for not doing some shit that is becoming increasingly impossible to complete. You got lucky and you barely completed it. I have been born and I've been introduced to this after that luck period has expired. It's no more grace. It's no more luck periods. You caught the last of that shit and you made it just barely. So what are you expecting me to do? Us to do as people of my generation. This chart illustrates how car prices have fluctuated relative to the income since 2000, while the federal minimum wage has remained stagnant since 2009. Median household income has grown substantially, and car prices have also increased significantly alongside them, especially during the pandemic years, which began to temper at 2024. It does not make up for the disparity of the growth before this temperament that came along. The growth was too much. The temper is negligible again. So there we go. I finished with those videos. I just made a video explaining all of this garbage, the current situation that we're in. This is to communicate to the older generations and the people who have all kind of smart shit to say and all these very convenient excuses and everything but solutions to help guide or instruct the current generation, which are facing problems that are at the peak of where they can be. So even if you face similar challenges, you faced the shit when it was level 5. I'm facing the bitch at level 100. And I'm starting with a basic kit. I don't have nothing that's making me equipped or gonna even the playing field to fight this motherfucker. I'm fighting with him with level 1 shit. That's not even programmed into the game. I'm not even capable of doing that shit. I'm gonna hit him, he's not gonna take no damage. He gonna crush my ass with one attack. You motherfuckers barely made it. And as you look back at us who are struggling, while we had all the varying flavors of disadvantages, we got all of them. And all you can say is try again, do harder, I'm disappointed in you, or you're not doing enough. What more of enough can I do? Explain to me. Show me. You can't, because you getting fucked up. This level 100 is coming for your ass when he's finished crushing me. He might be beating your ass at the same time with his other hand. He only need one hand to take care of me. He using a hand and a foot for you, but he gonna get your ass too. No solutions. So what we doing, what our generation is doing, and what you need to understand is that we are taking what we can from the system, living how we can from this system, without following obsolete advice that's going to lead us into an early grave or stress us 80 years past our actual age. That's what we're fucking doing. We're not just going to fly into a wall and do all this redundant shit that has proven to be insufficient at providing consistent results, or that has proven to provide no fucking results at all. That's dumb. I don't care if society tells me to do it. Just because you're in a situation and a bunch of people tell you to do some shit, that don't mean that it's right. Especially when the shit is wrong. The information that they're telling you to use and what they're telling you to do don't work. The whole fucking village can say it at the same time in perfect unison. That doesn't make the shit work. Does it? No. Y'all can cheer me on too. You can boo or cheer or do whatever. But guess what? It don't fucking work. At the end of the day, it don't work. Or what? People don't even save for the future anymore. Keep up with the times. Stop thinking about shit like it's happening while you was a kid, because it's not. My generation, 60, damn near 70% of us live with our parents. For a multitude of reasons. A lot of which I just went over in the past 3 fucking videos. Besides what that does to a person who's looking at his future prospects and doesn't know where to go. Doesn't see a path forward. Can't see the man he's racing against. Can't break through the ice. Don't see no way to break through the ice from where he's standing. He might have even walked and went and tried to do a little something, still didn't find nothing. All this shit is constantly weighing down and bearing down on me. You get affected by more than just being exhausted from work. Emotions are a thing. You may have forgotten this, but they are. And when society is slapping you in the face and showing you that your future is basically equivalent to a pile of hot shit, you don't feel like doing nothing. It don't feel like nothing. You don't have no inspiration to do shit. What inspires to do what? To work myself into a grave? To try and chase a 200% increase disparity between my ability to generate money and buy a house? I'm supposed to be excited to do that shit? No, nobody's excited to do any of this shit anyway. Now whatever fucking a little bit of excitement or inspiration that existed has been removed. Because there's not even a point to participating. You don't even get a fucking participation trophy. You get nothing for participating and for succeeding. You get shit on a plate. That's what the fuck you get. So no, I'm not excited, and I'm not putting in and fighting and doing all this redundant shit that you tell us to do. It don't work. Have you tried it? Why the fuck do you need to try to know that something fails? In any other situation where somebody is doing some shit that fails, do you need to go try it for you to know that it sucks, that it fails? If you saw somebody doing some shit the right way, and every time they did it, they failed, what about you do you think that you doing it is going to change the outcome of that situation when there's no specific special variables that you're bringing to the equation? There's a gap. You standing on a platform, you gotta jump to the other platform. There's water in between you and here. You where you're at and over there. The water is full of critters. They want to eat your ass. Okay? They want to kill you. Some piranhas. It's multiple ways presented to you to get across. Somebody used some jumping boots. Somebody else used a swing that's hanging from the ceiling. It's different ways you can approach it, but the goal is the same, and everybody is expected to cross this gap called adulthood. You just got here. You waiting in line for your turn. Everybody ahead of you takes the exact same way because it's the proven way. Before you even got in line, a bunch of people did use this way and it worked. But since then, the gap between here and there has widened. So the jump boots don't do the trick anymore. They jump their ass straight into the water and die. Even if they had some different tactic to it, even if they got a running start, fall, die in the water, jump boots every time. You gonna put the same fucking boots on and do the same shit? You gonna do it with a smile on your face? You gonna do it with passion and excitement? You must be suicidal. That must be it. Because what's finna happen is what happened to everybody else. You finna get ate up by some fucking piranhas with your jump boots on in the water. Dead. Them niggas getting fat down there, eating all these fucking idiots who keep jumping in after one another. Just imagine a line of people jumping into the water, doing the same shit over and over and over and over. Don't matter the skin color, don't matter the nothing. They doing the same shit and they all dying. And it comes your turn and you want to try to think about a different route, or you want to opt out entirely, because who the fuck wouldn't want to opt out of a situation like this and you made into the bad guy? Are y'all retarded? Am I surrounded by retarded people? Do you not see the situation that we're in? We should all collectively leave at the same time, to be honest. I don't know why I'm the only person saying this shit. You excited about doing this? You want to go into the water? Be my guest. Don't get mad at me that I didn't jump in after your ass so I can get chewed up on. I don't want that shit. I like what I have. And I know what I can't get from the system. I'm not finna claw for it when I know I can't fucking get it. And break my fucking fingernails off and get my fucking fingertips down to the bone and not have nothing to show for it. All these videos was just about the system and different things that's going on in the system. I'm going to touch on some other more nuanced or not nuanced, more specific and in-between problems, because it's still more problems. This is all just the big shit that's on the front page. It's other shit in between here that accumulates onto these problems. Compounding irregularities, like I said, a whole system, multiple parts of the same system failing and combusting and falling apart and popping off and shit, making the whole thing fall apart and sabotage. So we hit the relationships, we hit the social dynamics and relationships, we hit state of education and work and how that shit is redundant and stupid. We hit the housing market, and now we hit the car market. Next, we're going to touch on more social issues, basically. Thank you for tapping into this video. If you resonate with this, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.